You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
Hey there, you're about to listen to episode 333 of the SoulForge podcast. Kinda, sorta.
Welcome to the SoulForge, a place of silent mystery, quiet contemplation, and outright mayhem. Join your host, Shawn Vanderloo, as he guides you through the adventures of living. Together, we'll talk about life and love, sex and dating, joy and heartache, memories and loss, and so much more. Don't worry, it's not nearly as pretentious as it sounds. Get ready for life, the universe, and everything on the SoulForge.
Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the SoulForge. It's your host, Shawn. And have I ever got a treat for all of you out there in podcast land this week? Now, you'll remember on a previous episode where Leah and I had talked about starting a brand new podcast after we moved in October. Well, things have changed. The new podcast has launched. And what you're about to hear is the first all new exciting episode of the podcast, which is called Have Coffee, Will Travel. And it's going to be all kinds of fun stuff where we talk about travel experiences. We're going to have recipes. We're going to have family life. We're going to have pop culture reviews, TVs, movies, that kind of thing, and a whole bunch more. We're not sure exactly what yet. It's been accelerated for reasons, I suppose. And the first episode was all about Disney adults, and the D23 Expo, which just happened last weekend, I believe. We actually had a guest on our first episode, Mike from the ESO Network. You know Mike. He's the head honcho. Anyway, you'll hear all about that coming up very soon. We used Streamyard. I'd never used it before, and there was a bit of lag in the recording, so it's not the best recording, and maybe we shouldn't have used it for our first episode, but we got it out there. They can only improve and get better from here on out. So I'm going to play a promo for another podcast here on the ESO Network, and then you're going to hear the show in its entirety. What I want you to do, though, is you can either listen to the rest of the episode or just go download and subscribe and like and share Have Coffee, Will Travel. It's brand new. We need all the subscribers out there we can get. If you could join the Facebook page, it is Have Coffee, Will Travel. Like it, share it, tell everybody that you know. We need to get the word out there to get it going, and it's definitely appreciated, anything that you can do. The email address, it's a long one. It's havecoffeewilltravelpod@gmail.com. I don't expect anybody to use it, but I needed it for setting up the iTunes or the Apple Podcasts and the iHeartRadio and all those fun things. It's pretty much everywhere that you can find podcasts. So without further ado, here you go.
This is Drew Leiter from the Earth Station DCU podcast, inviting you to join us every week for DC news, comic reviews, and more. This summer, we'll be checking out the Netflix series Dead Boy Detectives and the last season of Sweet Tooth. We will also be covering the comic event Absolute Power, as well as the animated Crisis on Infinite Earths event. Don't get left behind. Subscribe to the Earth Station DCU podcast today.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of the Have Coffee, Will podcast travel. No, that's not right.
That's not right.
That's not. It's the Have Coffee
Will Travel
podcast. Yes.
Yes.
It's our first episode. Of course, we're a little bit nervous and uncertain. I'm one of your hosts, Shawn, and who are you?
I'm Leah.
And how do I know you from?
Well, I'm your wife, so I hope you know me.
There we go. So
Yes.
What we decided to do is start a brand new podcast called Have Coffee, Will Travel. It's going to be all about our adventures and pop culture and all kinds of fun things like that. It's basically, what would you call it? A takeoff, a child of our SoulForge podcast that we've been doing, but this is brand new from the start with both of us.
Yeah, brand new.
And in a future episode, we'll talk about who exactly we are and all that kind of good stuff. But here on our first episode, let's talk about Disney adults.
Well, yes, that's definitely one of the things that we're going to talk about. What is a Disney adult and why is it that they love Disney so much? But for our first episode, we do have a guest.
That's amazing. For our first episode, we've already got a guest.
Yes, we already have a guest. And we're also trying a new platform. What do you think of our new platform, Shawn?
It's Streamyard, so we're on video, and I'm guessing we're on YouTube as well, or will be on YouTube. Are we on YouTube right now?
Yes, we are. We're live streaming to YouTube.
Okay, now I know you've used StreamYard before. I never have, so I don't know anything about it. So you're going to be in charge of all of that good stuff. I'm just along for the ride. I do all the editing and all that kind of good stuff. But you're a Disney adult. I've only been to Disney once, so let's have you take the lead on this one.
Absolutely. So before we begin on what exactly a Disney adult is, I want to bring in our guest because he's been backstage waiting patiently for us. And who is this person, Shawn, and how do we know them?
Oh, well, that's a good question. I have known Mr. Mike Faber since about 2018 when I was the host of the Rusted Robot podcast, and I saw an advertisement for something called the ESO Network. And I'm like, I don't know what that is, but it sounds pretty cool. So I contacted this guy, and he said, well, we're a network of a bunch of pop culture podcasts, and you've got a pop culture podcast. Why don't you join us? And so basically I did. So I've known Mike for 6 years. I actually met him in person in 2019. Wow, that's a long time ago. When I went to see him in Atlanta, Georgia, and we went to Dragon Con.
Nice. Oh, that's exciting.
It was. I'd never been to Georgia.
Yeah, and okay. Yeah, so we're going to bring on Mr. Mike Faber, and we're going to say welcome. So,
hey, guys.
Welcome, Mike.
Hey, guys. I am so
going?
honored to be on the first episode. You have me on for the first episode, so the show can only go up from here. So this is
That's
good.
Right. Absolutely. Love the background, by the way. Love it.
Thank you. The bar is so low here that, you guys are going to just go millions of places and everything. And the chemistry between you guys already, you could tell, a husband and wife podcast. How can you beat that?
You can't.
Thank you.
Awesome.
You can't beat that.
Awesome.
Thank you.
It's
Thank you
pretty
so
awesome.
much. Yeah.
And you know what? We're all Disney addicts here. And so it's going to be a fun time to talk all about it.
Absolutely. So I've ran across the definition of a Disney adult. Do you consider yourself a Disney adult, Mike?
Oh, I was a Disney kid and I grew up into a Disney adult. It's, the love for Disney has never waned. And, I stuck through it, through even the lean days of the late 80s, early 90s. And it was just, amazing. As a kid, I went to Disney World. When I lived out in California around 2000, I had season tickets to Disneyland, and I was there pretty much every other week. And so it was just awesome.
So fun. Excellent. So there's been some controversy surrounding the Disney adult and what is a Disney adult. So I looked it up. Wikipedia defines a Disney adult. If you can believe it, they have a definition, and it defines a Disney adult as an adult who is a devout fan of the Walt Disney Company. Common hobbies include visiting Disney theme parks, collecting merchandise, cosplaying Disney characters, and consuming content on the Disney Plus streaming service. So that's the official definition.
Oh, very much so. And it's kind of cool because, I was thrilled when they used to have the Disney stores and at the malls. And it was wonderful to be able to do that. And I got to raise my son with Disney too. And, even when he was newborn, him and I used to sit, early in the morning and watch the Disney Channel. And one of his favorites growing up was Bear in the Big Blue House, which was just awesome. And so
excellent.
It was just awesome. So I raised him right.
Yeah, you absolutely did. Absolutely. My son, his favorite, I would have to say, was Gravity Falls.
Oh, of course. Phineas and Ferb. You have all those different kind of stuff that the kids grew up that are different from what we grew up with. Because growing up for us was, the wonderful world of Disney. That was pre-cable kids, so showing our age right here.
Yeah. What about you, Shawn? What did you like to watch that's under the sort of the Disney umbrella? Did you have anything in particular?
Of course, Flight of the Navigator was my favorite as a kid. One of the best movies that they had. And of course, Wonderful World of Disney, Bedknobs and Broomsticks, all that good stuff. And of course, I've always been into Star Wars and the Marvel movies, so that's now Disney too. So
they're going to soon own everything, so it's perfect.
Yes.
They're going to buy the planet Earth and call it Disney World, so it does make sense.
Perfect.
It's the first show, folks. They're working on it.
Well, with the with the purchase of Fox from Disney, a lot came out of that, and they kind of ended up with a lot of the copyright of the Marvel universe, right? So.
Nope, very much so. And it's pretty cool because with all the different acquisitions, that makes Marge Simpson now, since they bought Fox, a Disney princess. So it's pretty cool.
I'm just wondering, where did this whole Disney phenomena thing come from? And I guess practices associated with, the phenomenon such as Disney weddings date back to the 90s. Disney World marketing in 1996 included an advert aimed at adults promising a world of magic without kids. And in 2019, a Facebook post went viral, which apparently complained about a childless millennial couple obstructing her family's experience at Disney World. And this post quickly turned into a meme that was widely shared on social media and making fun of Disney adults, specifically millennials in their 30s who didn't have children still going to the parks. January 2024, a survey of self-identified Disney adults found that 71% were aged between 25 and 44. 80% were found to be females, and 91 expected to remain a Disney adult for the rest of their lives.
Wow.
I could see that. And it's interesting because Disney now, it just isn't the parks. It's also, the cruise lines. But you also have like a downtown Disney, or what they call Disney Springs. And you have, and it's just not Disney in Florida and Disney in California even. It's Disney all around the world. And so it's pretty amazing what you have with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, as our title says, we are going to talk a little bit more about the D23 Fan Expo that happened August 9th, I believe it was, to the 11th. Have you ever been, Mike?
Sure. I was in the outskirts of going to probably 2004, 2005, that era. I was, but since then I've not been able to go. I have friends who've gone, and friends of mine who are like, oh, I got to save for the next one or the next one, and it's such a spectacle. And it's funny because it's usually right after San Diego Comic-Con, so you have all this information coming to you, and then boom, Disney comes in with all this extra stuff, and you're like, type thing.
Wow.
So.
And was it as busy as it is today when you went first?
No, not at all. It's pretty amazing how it's exploded.
Yeah. My understanding was it was introduced on March 10th, 2009 by Bob Iger during a company's annual meeting. They kind of discussed that this is what we're going to have. They did have a booth at the San Diego Comic-Con in 2009 as well, and held the first D23 Expo on September 10th to the 13th, 2009. March 2010, D23 announced that the expo would be biennial instead of annual, and Destination D events would kind of be in between. I have never been to either one. Have you been to a Destination D? And do you know what that is? Okay.
I do. I've heard of it.
Okay. Yeah.
I've heard of it.
Anybody who doesn't know, and I've never attended one, and Shawn, I don't think you have either, but it does feature Legends Award ceremonies, which we will chat about. The exclusive first look at projects, which, there's quite a few, I'm sure, in preparing for this episode. I know you probably did your homework, Mike. I certainly did, and there's a lot of exciting upcoming things coming to the Disney parks. They also have upcoming attractions, celebrity appearances, pop-up stores, presentations on Disney history, masquerade, fan costume contests, the Emporium, which is full of pin trading areas. They have archives and even an art contest now. So lots of stuff to do, and kind of packed into 3 days, right?
It's just amazing how much they pour into these things. And I was wrong when I said I went in 2004, 2005. I went 2011.
It was 2011. Okay,
yes.
Excellent. So did you happen to, I know it was not live streamed. The parks panel was not live streamed this year. Did you get a chance to watch a video or anything?
I watched a few things. Thank goodness for YouTube. And,
right?
YouTube is, the best resource for that. So, if anyone's watching us on YouTube, thank you. So,
yes, thank you so much. Lots coming to Disneyland. Anaheim is kind of getting some love this time. What do you think of that? I mean, Anaheim hasn't been touched in a while.
No, it's interesting because there's been rumors going around with Disneyland that they're going to be doing major expansions. D23 confirmed a lot of what is coming because Disney still owns a bunch of property that's been developed for other projects that they're going to be closing down, like shopping centers and stuff. And it's going to be taken over by the park. And it's going to be pretty amazing that's coming. And I'm looking at the list right now, and it's just amazing to see what's going to be going into Disneyland. Disneyland has a special place in my heart anyway because of living out there and being able to go to the park all the time. Anytime anyone came to town to visit, oh, we're going to Disney, or oh, it's Friday night, I don't have anything to do, let's go to Disney, So it was always great to do.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah, it was nice living 15 miles away from it, so it was perfect.
A dream come true. So Walt's Original Disneyland, Disney Anaheim, California. The one thing that they've been missing that Florida has at this time is Tiana's Bayou Adventure has gotten an opening date of November 15th, 2024. What do you think of the refurb of Splash Mountain?
I think it's going to be beautiful. From the pictures I saw, I'm really looking forward to doing it. Splash Mountain was nice, but it was time to update it. And what they're coming up with is going to be beautiful.
I have mixed feelings because I never really got a chance to experience Splash Mountain. Unfortunately, anytime that I've been there, it was either down or the line was just too long, couldn't get a standby or anything like that. So my goal now is Tokyo Disney, of course, which still has the Splash Mountain ride as is. So looking forward to that because honestly, it's going to be my last chance to ride it, and so I do want to ride it before it's gone away forever. So so far anyway, Tokyo has no plans of refurbishing it or tearing it down or retheming, reimagining, as they say in Disney. So that's very exciting. So one thing that Josh D'Amaro said in the video that I saw was he came out on stage and he said, and anybody who doesn't know who Josh D'Amaro is, he is the president, I believe. Is he the president or the vice president of the parks? I can't remember what his official title is.
I have no idea.
I believe he is. Yeah. Mike, do you have any idea?
I think he's officially in charge of the parks, overseer of the park.
Yeah. So he is, I believe he's the president of the parks portion of the Disney Company. He came out and he said that none of this is, all of this is in active development. It is not blue sky.
Disney has been telling the world's greatest stories for more than 100 years. In our parks, our cruise ships, and resort hotels, Imagineers continuously dream up new and innovative ways for our guests to connect with the stories that they love.
So I'm very, very excited to hear that. One thing that, Shawn, you might be able to appreciate, Mando and Grogu are coming to the Smuggler's Run. So a new story will be coming to the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run, and a new story will tie into the upcoming Mandalorian and Grogu movie. which is expected to see new adventures when the movie comes out in 2026. So that's kind of a teaser for us to say that that movie is in fact happening. So as a fan of The Mandalorian, Shawn, what do you think of that?
Well, I'll be in theaters to see it, and you'll be with me, so we'll have to do an episode about our review on that, because movie reviews and television episode reviews will be part of the Have Coffee, We'll Travel podcast eventually.
Very nice.
Absolutely, yeah. And what did you think? Because when we were in Disney, was that September of 2023, Shawn? We were there?
That's right.
Yeah, and we rode Smuggler's Run. That was a lot of fun.
Is that the one where we were engineers? Or is that the other one?
Yes. Yeah, in the Millennium Falcon. Yeah.
That was fine. I would have rather have been the pilot, but I got to sit in the back and push a bunch of buttons that actually didn't do anything. So it was what it was.
So you felt like you're doing a regular job, so it's perfect. There you go.
Pretty much. It's exactly what it was. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's cool.
Lights and sounds were neat.
Mike, what about you? Have you done Smuggler's Run yet?
I have not done yet. It's on our list. It's been probably about 5 years since we've been to Disney World. So, we're looking forward to doing that. I've had friends who stayed at the Disney Hotel, rest in peace, dying to be able to go get a lightsaber or be able to do the Millennium Falcon and everything. So it should be a ton of fun for that. It's just going to be amazing. And just hearing about the Grogu and Mando ride, it's just pretty awesome.
Yeah, so they're going to be added to the Smuggler's Run, projection to the story, which is fantastic. I'm so happy that they've decided to make that addition. Seems like that one's going to go to the Walt's Original Disneyland first. I imagine it will make its way to Florida at some point.
I'm looking forward to this one you just announced. The basically auto animatronic Walt is going to be awesome and everything. It's like the Hall of President.
They're making a Robo Walt?
Yes.
They are.
That'll be cool.
Yes.
That's awesome.
And it's going to be the familiar scene that we used to see Walt on Wonderful World of Disney, and with the map behind him and him at the desk. It's supposed to be amazing.
When is that set?
Absolutely. So that actually, its debut is going to be, it didn't really say, they didn't really announce it, but they did announce that for the first time ever, Walt will be an animatronic, and he will be in the Opera House on Main Street, rotating with great moments with Mr. Lincoln. That's kind of, Mr. Lincoln isn't going away, if anybody is concerned about that. Not going to be that he's gonna be gone. It's definitely not that, but it will rotate with Walt Disney Magical Life. It's going to be called. Hopefully, usually an animatronic like that, it doesn't take very long to develop, but I'm assuming they're going to have to develop the rest, the scene, the set, and of course the audio and all of that. So that may take a while, I'm sure.
And they're supposed to be using actual Walt's voice, which is pretty cool.
So exciting. I'm sure they have a few of those recordings on hand.
Oh, I guarantee it. And the technology for the automatronics have so improved over the last few years. It's going to be amazing to see.
Absolutely. So what do you think about that, Shawn? You're kind of a guy who likes robots, and you're kind of into those types of things. What do you think about that?
You're just saying I'm into robots because I did a whole podcast for 7 years all about pop culture called The Rusted Robot. And you're right. I love robots. When we went and seen the Lincoln robot, or the animatronic, that was super neat. I love all that stuff. Robots, cyborgs, and androids. Oh my. Give me more.
Yeah, perfect. Moving over to California Adventures, something that you might start to become a little more excited about there, Shawn, is they've promised an Avengers e-ticket. So it's going to be Avengers Infinity Defense, which is starting construction next year. The ride will feature technology that jumps you to different worlds.
Ooh, that does sound like a lot of fun.
So probably those Stargates that you saw throughout the Guardians of the Galaxy films and everything.
That sounds like it would be pretty heavily involved and probably take a few years to build, I would think.
Oh yeah, most likely. And there's also the Stark Flight Lab that they're building too, which is going to be pretty awesome.
Yes. So it seems like you're going to fly around places like Wakanda, Asgard, and New York to fly alongside the Avengers. Sounds very, very exciting.
I've never been to any of those places, so that'll be awesome.
What? You haven't been to Wakanda?
Excellent.
Everyone's been to Wakanda, man.
I missed that flight.
Oh my goodness.
It's sad.
Oh boy, that's pretty sad. Pretty sad. So another attraction that is coming to the Avengers campus at Disney California Adventures. Not too much going on about that. Like you said, the Stark Academy, though, will have a Kuka arm attraction. There wasn't any more details other than that. A Kuka arm, I guess, is one of those large 6-axle jointed arms that will move you in different ways. I don't know, different views.
If you're weak in the stomach, don't do it, basically.
Right. Yeah. Sounds like it would be one of those rather vomit-inducing.
That's what friends of mine said of the Guardians of the Galaxy ride at Disney.
Okay.
I think they just had weak stomachs. So.
We didn't get a chance to ride that one. The lines were too long.
No. Yeah, it was very It's super busy. DCA is also getting an Avatar Land. So yes, much love coming to DCA.
Is it going to be
DCA?
Avatar Land? So Disney California Adventures.
Okay.
Yes, we're using the logo. Yeah, come on, join us. Come on.
I'm a newbie here.
I know.
You're learning me up all the good stuff, and I need to know it. So
we're trying. We're really trying.
Yeah.
I wonder if the Avatar Land that's coming to California Adventure, how similar it's going to be to the one that they have at Disney World.
Yeah, that's very true. And they did include that it will have a boat ride. So that sounds pretty similar to the current one happening right now. Yeah.
Exactly.
Way of the Water.
It's a small world. Just to finish it off.
Oh boy. Of course, yes.
But I wonder if they're going to modernize it, because they did announce that there is going to be a new Avatar movie coming out next year.
That's right.
Yes.
Way of the Water. And Ash or something.
Yeah, Fire and Ash, or retelling the same story again for the third time, but with different seating.
Probably.
And then there will be one or two more after that. So.
Yeah, lucky us.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Also, the first ever Coco inspired ride is coming to Disney California Adventures. Super exciting. And that one is breaking ground in 2026.
Yep, exactly. And that's also coming to California Adventure. So
yeah, California Adventure. Yes.
And this is all part of the expanding of the property, because California Adventures was actually rather small compared to the Magic Kingdom at Disneyland. It'll be very interesting to see how far they do expand it.
Yeah. So Shawn and I did not make Disney when we were in California for our honeymoon. We ended up in the Palm Springs area, and it was absolutely gorgeous. It was sad to know that I was so close and I didn't quite make it to Anaheim. But just to kind of give you a picture, Shawn, because we have been to Florida, to the Walt Disney World resorts in Florida. It's kind of like Disneyland is on one side of the street and you cross over, and DCA is right on the other side. You just really kind of go straight over, and they're really close to each other. But they've been smaller for quite some time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It was the smaller of the two parks. It was fun because it had roller coasters. At one point, it had the Muppets. It had the California Adventure. It was meant to be more like an old, they used to say, boardwalk amusement park.
Oh, nice.
Type thing and everything.
Yeah. And what about Soarin' over California? Soarin' is one of my favorite rides.
That was amazing. I used to love that because, it made me want to go, I've got to go up to Northern California and check that out. And, and it was beautiful, and it made you feel like you were there. You were totally immersed in it. So it was cool.
Going on over to Animal Kingdom, another park that we kind of skipped at on our last visit, because we ended up really enjoying the Food and Wine Festival at Epcot. We didn't make it over to Animal Kingdom, but Dino Land USA will be transformed into an 11-acre tropical America's land, featuring two major attractions. Indiana Jones will be there to replace Dinosaur. Have you ever been on Dinosaur?
I've been on Dinosaur, It was fun, but it was, for me, my son loved it at the time. He was like, "Oh, this is awesome!" But he was little at the time when we took him.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, it was like, oh, okay. I'm hoping, because at Disneyland, they did have a Indiana Jones ride, which was amazing.
Yeah.
I'm hoping they capture that in with the Indiana Jones ride they are going to be putting in to Animal Kingdom.
What do you think, Shawn, about Indiana Jones getting a ride? What do you think about Indiana Jones as a whole, I guess?
If the line is not too long, I'll be on the ride. I love a good ride. If it's roller coaster like, it's even better. That's the one thing that I was a little bit disappointed about when we went to Disney World. There wasn't a lot of roller coasters. I was expecting it to be more like Cedar Point or something, and it was not.
No, the amount of real roller coasters is very small at Disney. But you have Space Mountain. You also had the Runaway Train, and I know they don't have the Matterhorn at Disney World.
No.
So.
That is exclusive to Walt's original. Yeah.
Exactly.
If you're loving this podcast, you should tell a friend about it.
Spread the word about podcasts you think they would enjoy. There's something for everyone, from entertainment and lifestyle
to news and politics
and more. Share it on social media.
Believe it or not, some people don't know how great podcasts are or even how to find and listen to them.
You can help change that with a click. Tell your friends about your favorite podcast.
Thanks for spreading the word.
Encanto as well. Encanto is getting a boat ride. Or sorry, it's not going to be a boat ride. Sorry, that was my error. Not going to be a boat ride.
Mm-hmm. Aha. So you're also going to get Zootopia Land for the show. The Zootopia show coming.
Zootopia, yes. There is a Zootopia show coming. They didn't really elaborate on that one either. But yes, there will be a show coming. A Zootopia show.
Winter 2025.
So that's pretty good. Okay, perfect. There you go. Winter 2025. Construction will begin this fall on the two main attractions opening in 2027 in Animal Kingdom, being done in phases. So if anybody is a fan of Dinosaur, which I am, I really did enjoy that ride, may want to go and ride it one last time before she is gone forever. What about, when was the last time that you were at Epcot, Mike?
Epcot was, I'm going to show my age. It's probably been at least 12 years since the last time I was at Epcot. Yes.
You're way overdue.
I am overdue.
You're way overdue.
A little secret.
Way overdue.
Judy has not been back to Disney World since she was a little girl.
Oh my goodness. Oh, it's time to go. You have to take her.
I know.
You have to go. We'll have to do a joint trip sometime. Yeah,
I would love
absolutely. Yeah.
It would be awesome.
Yes. Shawn will be thrilled because he's like, somebody else can take my crazy wife onto all these stupid rides that I don't want to go on.
Yeah, Judy doesn't do the roller coasters or the things that thrash you around or anything. But
yeah, Leah's not a fan either. But if you are, then we'll be all set.
Yeah, I love that kind of stuff. So
perfect.
Yeah, perfect. You guys can go.
Exactly.
Good. Excellent. Yes. It's been a long time since you've seen Test Track then.
Yeah, but Test Track's reopening, which is awesome.
Yes, scheduled to reopen next year. Yeah, 2025. Mm-hmm. Yeah, with a refurb, reimagining. Disney Hollywood Studios is getting a suspended coaster. This sounds exciting. It really sounds exciting. So you will be transported back to Monstropolis for a visit to the infamous Laugh Factory. Inside the Laugh Factory will be the first suspended coaster ever at a Disney park. And you'll be watching sort of the doors going by, and you're going to be right alongside the doors.
Looks I can't wait.
Fantastic. What do you think about a suspension ride?
The Monster Inc. Land looks so amazing. I saw the models, and it looks totally fun, and it's going to be a great addition to Hollywood Studios. It's pretty awesome.
Absolutely.
So
definitely.
I'm looking forward to it. And I will be there on the suspended coaster.
Will you? Excellent. You just might be able to get me on that one.
Okay.
Yeah, just might.
Not to put a blindfold on Judy to do it, but that'll be okay.
My goodness. And something else that we've been missing for a long time, I don't know if you heard, Universal has their whole brand new park coming, Epic Universe. So Disney, I kind of think that, this has all come on the coattails of that. Villain Land. We're getting a Villain Land, all brand new land devoted to just Disney villains.
It's going to be amazing to see. And it's like, what took so long? And I'll be very curious to see. I know there's supposed to be 2 major rides in that land, and then some other shows and such. So I'll be very curious to see, you know, which villains are included, which are not, and you know what they're going to do, and how are they going to make it dark and, you know, scary all the time, you know, especially during the day.
Yes. Who's your favorite Disney villain?
Oh, of course, for me it has to be Jafar from Aladdin. It's one of my favorites.
Oh. Do you have a favorite Disney villain, Shawn?
No. See, I'm a Disney newbie. I'm just learning all this stuff.
Oh, Shawn.
I know.
You know, and you know, I would have been yelled at if I would have said my favorite Disney villain was someone like It's a Small World or something. So it's okay. Because you get that damn song stuck in your head all the time.
Well, you know, yeah. And speaking of Small World, you know, I thought, me personally, I think the Small World ride is better at Walt's Original in Disneyland, California. What do you think?
Oh, I definitely agree with that. I agree. For me, I think I love the one in California because to me, it is the original, because it's the same one my mom saw when she saw it at the 1962 World's Fair. So, you know, it's pretty amazing. But, you know, the one in Florida is much grander. They had more room. They had more modern and stuff. So it's pretty cool. But you're also getting 2 lounges, new lounges coming to Disney, which are pretty amazing.
Yes.
We are getting, of course,
absolutely.
At Disney World in 2025, we're getting a Spaceship Earth lounge at Epcot, and in the Magic Kingdom, yo ho ho, a Pirates of the Caribbean lounge, which is pretty amazing.
Can't wait. Yeah,
I remember the days
Pirates.
when
Pirates is amazing.
They would not serve alcohol in the Magic Kingdom at all. Yes. I know that's changed as of recently.
You had to go to
Epcot.
Yeah, you had to only go to certain. Yes. That was it. That was the only place you could have alcohol. Yeah, for sure.
At the park. Yeah. The hotels, of course.
Yeah, of course. Yes. And speaking of things that are in California and not in Florida, what is coming to Frontierland, of course, is the 2 Cars-inspired attractions. Rally Race Through the Mountains, and then another one geared towards families and younger people, younger guests. So next year, construction will begin on that one.
Awesome. As long as I could ride in Mater, I'm okay. That's perfect.
That's good. They did say that it would definitely be different than Radiator Springs in California. So of course, you know, it's not going to be a repeat. You're going to have different experiences depending on where you're going.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah,
there's so much fun stuff about it. And I think Cars Land is going to be very, very popular.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it is too. I mean, who doesn't love Lightning McQueen and Mater?
Exactly. So I think it'll be perfect.
Awesome. And of course, the new nighttime parade as well coming, Disney Starlight, summer 2025, to feature Peter Pan, Encanto, Frozen, and more. That's one of the things that I miss about the electrical parade, is all the lights and the fun that happens at night.
It was magic. It truly, truly was magic seeing the electrical parade. The lights and the energy and all the characters. And it was the reason why you stayed late at night at Disney, you know. And when they ended it, it was just and I'm glad they're bringing it back, the parade back.
And of course, you know, Disneyland Paris, Hong Kong Disney, they're also getting some love this time around with some new attractions. Spider-Man is going to be sort of prevalent in both those areas. And Peter Parker, and, you know, he's getting into some trouble. A new roller coaster in Paris, as well as Hong Kong is also getting the Spider-Man action coming to the Stark Expo as well. So that's amazing. Happy to hear that, you know, they're spreading the love over a lot of the parks. not just
one.
That
is awesome. Yeah, I'm glad they've also included a lot of like Hong Kong and Shanghai and, of course, France. And so there's so many different parks now. It's not just American-centric as it used to be. Pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly. The other kind of great big news, and Shawn and I have recently been on one, Disney Cruise Line, really going to double their fleet size.
4 new ships. That's pretty amazing.
4 new, and not the 4 that we're thinking of. The Wish has already set sail. The Treasure is next. The Destiny and the Adventure, all of them have already been announced. So there's 4 more coming.
Yep, there's going to be 13 ships, I think, now, if I'm correct.
Yes,
total.
13 total. Yeah,
so
between 2027
really
and
nice
2031.
Yep. So for all those Disney cruisers, start planning.
Yes.
And they're having new
routes absolutely.
Too. So it's pretty cool.
Yes. New itineraries. Yes. What about you? Have you been on a Disney cruise before?
I've not been on the official Disney cruise. When I was married to my first wife, we actually did our honeymoon at Disney World. Then we also took the big red boat, which was the precursor to the Disney boat, to the Disney cruise. So it was pretty awesome.
Okay.
Disney,
and Shawn, you've been on one.
Yes. My first cruise ever was this March. And my first cruise was a Disney cruise. And it was actually a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. It was very relaxing. It was the first vacation that I had that I didn't need another week to recover from.
Wow. I usually need a month or 2 to recover from a cruise. So, it's good.
It was fun. It was great and relaxing, and all the food I could eat. And
So that's perfect. That is perfect. Awesome. It's the Disney cruise is great. And it's just not for families. Adults who don't have kids can also do the Disney cruises. And there's itineraries, there's sections of the ships that are adults only. And so it's pretty awesome. So, so for the Disney grown-ups out there, you too can enjoy the Disney cruise.
We did.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. What I think I like the most about a Disney cruise versus any other cruise is, of course, the fireworks at sea. No one else does that.
Nope, exactly.
And, of course, the rotational dining.
Say what you want about Disney. Disney service at the hotels on the cruise ships is beyond expectations. It's above a 4-star, like a 5 or 6 star. They go out of your way to make you feel special, which is wonderful.
Yeah. Pin trading is probably one of my favorites on Disney cruises. Door decorating. We decorated our door and got mail. We did what is called fish extenders. So much fun to see, we get a present in the morning, go and look in your mailbox, and you have some awesome fish extender gifts.
Nice. That's really, really awesome. It's going to be exciting for people to go on the Disney cruise. And they also announced that there's going to be the flagship Broadway-style musical on the Disney Destiny will be Hercules.
Oh, Hercules.
Yes,
so
Hercules. Oh, it's fantastic that you can go and see these Broadway shows, like Broadway quality, even on the Disney cruise ships.
Because sometimes they're really, you go onto a cruise ship and the entertainment is really cheesy. Really cheesy, folks. And Disney, brings the productions like they have on Broadway or in the parks themselves and bring it onto the ship, and the effects and the singing, the music. It's wonderful, and the talent they get is just awesome. So
absolutely.
Definitely worth checking out.
Yeah. And, did you know, Mike, that they rehearse in Canada? They actually rehearse in Toronto. There's a rehearsal space that the Disney entertainers for Disney Cruise Lines, they're all in Toronto. Did you know that?
I did not know that. Yeah. I knew Cirque was up in Montreal, but I didn't know that Disney actually had a space in Toronto. That's pretty awesome. It's, it's out there for international folks, too. It's pretty cool.
One thing that we enjoyed when we were on our Disney cruise is knowing that the wait staff and all the entertainers and everybody who there to entertain us and make sure we had a great experience were from all over the world. Do you remember that,
yeah.
Shawn?
I do remember. Yes, we had people from Brazil and people from India and all kinds of other places.
Yeah, it was wonderful. And so one of my other favorite parts, I think, about watching the D23 Expo from YouTube was that we got some rather interesting Disney legends this year inducted. Miley Cyrus and Harrison Ford, I think, were probably the two more popular. What do we think about that?
I think that was pretty awesome. You also had Jamie Lee Curtis was up there too.
Yeah.
And you also had, James L. Brooks, who, he did The Simpsons. There was Frank Oz. Come on, that's the Muppets. He is truly, but he's just not Muppets. He's also a director. He's an actor. He got his start as a puppeteer with Jim Henson back in the 1960s. The stuff he's done for Disney is just amazing.
Yeah, interesting fact about the Jim Henson's puppeteers. They also recently worked on a rather large project, Five Nights at Freddy's. They created all of the animatronics for that movie as well. So big things coming out of Jim Henson.
Oh, very much so. Comic book creator Steve Ditko was honored. One of the creators of Spider-Man, along with Stan Lee.
That's right.
Yes. Yes.
And he also helped create Doctor Strange for Marvel.
Yes.
So it's pretty awesome stuff.
Yes. So what is it that you're looking forward to the most in regards to the announcements made by Disney at the D23 Expo?
That's like me picking one of my favorite children to, try to pick out. There's just so much great stuff coming. I'm looking forward to the Monster Inc. land. Just sounds amazing. I'm a huge, huge fan of the movies. And I love that they had Billy Crystal come out to announce it. And so it was pretty cool. So yeah, probably out of everything, the Monster Inc. I love that they're also doing an Encanto show coming, and then also Indiana Jones coming to Florida finally. I've been waiting for that because they had a Raiders of the Lost Ark show, but they've never had a ride in Florida.
Right.
So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. And Shawn, as an outsider, somebody who's not quite a Disney person just yet, we'll get you there, no problem. What are you kind of looking for after hearing all of these announcements?
Basically, just seeing your reaction as you learn all the new things, seeing your face light up. That's enough for me.
How sweet. All good.
It's cute. That was
all
cute.
Good.
That was really, really cute.
That was very.
It's very sweet.
For me, I would have to. Yes, we are. We are. For myself, I guess it would be the animatronic of Mr. Walt Disney. I'm looking very, very forward to that. And I would have to say the Villains Land. I'm very excited to see that we're not kind of shying away or being scared of our villains anymore. We're kind of accepting them as a giant part of Disney because they really are. And I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with that land and what they're going to place there. And I'm also looking forward to the merch that will come out of there. I think we'll see a lot of great merchandise.
It's all about the merch. It is so all about the merch.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Well, it's been so much fun chatting about all of the new exciting things coming from the Disney parks. As you can probably tell, I'm probably the most excited person here because I'm just so happy about it. It's so exciting.
It's going to be such an exciting time to be a Disney fan, young and old. So it's going to be very cool. Mm-hmm. And we have so much cool stuff to look forward to.
So will you be planning a trip, do you think, when all of this stuff starts to come to fruition?
Oh, God, yes. Very, very much so. It's time for me to dust off my Disney shoes and start, wandering around. I think it'll be great.
Yeah.
So
where do you think you'll start? Florida, California?
Florida, because Florida I can drive to. It's not that far from where we live. I would love to take Judy to California or take you guys to California to be able to go do Disneyland. Because, that's the original. And it's interesting because it's older, but it still has such a great feel to it. It's magic in so many ways. So, there's absolutely so much to do and see. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. And, you never know where we'll turn up. So, who knows? We might end up in France or, one of the Asian ones. So It could be
It'll
cool.
be a surprise.
Nice.
Exactly. So.
Well, hopefully you'll be taking along some podcasting material and giving us an update as you go.
Of course.
All right, Mike. Well, thanks for coming by the Have Coffee headquarters and being our first guest. Is there anything you'd like to tell the audience, how to get a hold of you, any upcoming projects you're working on, anything like that?
Ooh, I have many projects. Some I can't talk about yet, but I'm very happy to announce, on top of doing stuff for the ESO Podcast Network and, doing, of course, Earth Station Who and Tales from Hollywoodland podcasts, I will be starting, ready for this, folks, not another podcast, but I am doing a travel agency.
What?
And yes, Judy and I are officially travel agents. We are a full-service travel agency based out of Atlanta, Georgia. But we can help anybody worldwide who needs any, travel recommendations, any kind of ideas with booking cruises, booking vacations to Disney, or, even flights, planes, trains, and automobiles. We can do that too. Just you promise not to take Steve Martin or John Candy with us on that one. So it should be a ton of fun. And the name of the company is Horizon Haven Expeditions. You can definitely find us. You could write us at horizonhavenexpeditions@gmail.com is the best way to get in touch with us currently. We are building a new website, and we are also in the process of creating a Facebook page and creating an identity up there. We might be the new guys on the block, but we have over 30 years of experience with travel worldwide. And, booking, we also have experience of booking and such. So we're just not going to send you. We also go too. So not with you, but we go also. So that would be the best part about it. So, you know what? And we also have a blog on YouTube. It's called Wandering with Mike and Judy. And right now there's a lot of concerts we've gone to. We go to concerts all around the country and go see live music. And one of the things that we do with that is we record some performances and put it up there. But we're also going to be starting to put our exploits when we travel up there too. So you'll be seeing both Judy and I up on YouTube. So definitely please like and subscribe if you find us. So it'd be very cool.
Absolutely.
So exactly. And there's so much fun stuff to do, and there's a whole world to see, and it's getting easier and easier to go places, which is nicer. Take advantage of it, folks.
That's right. Leah and I would like to thank all of our listeners for checking out our first episode. It's not the typical kind of fare that we'll be having. This has been a bit of a rough recording because we haven't used Streamyard before, and we don't have a theme tune yet or a closing, but we'll get there.
We can sing It's a Small World if you want to end the show.
Nobody wants to hear me sing.
No, me either. Okay, no.
That's enough of that.
Okay, so like I said, we don't have a sign off yet, but we'll come up with one. We do have an email address, which is havecoffeewilltravelpod@gmail.com. We're on Acast. We're trying to get on iTunes. It's taking a little bit longer than it should. We're on iHeartRadio and all the other great places. So join us for a coffee and a bit of an adventure on the next exciting episode of the Have Coffee Will Travel podcast.
This has been a Valley of Vanderloo podcast production, all rights reserved.
This transmission ends now.
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network. Be part of the crew and help support our shows by donating to our ESO Patreon or by shopping at the TeePublic store, which can all be found at www.esonetwork.com. The ESO Network, your station for all things geek.